Yaya tu dharma kamarthan
Yaya tu dharma kamathan
dhritya dharayate Arjuna
dhritya dharyate Arjuna
prasangena falakankshi
prasangena falakankshi
dhriti sapartha rajasi.
dhriti
Dhriti
sapartha rajasi.
Rajasi.
But that determination by which one holds fast to fruitive results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is in the mode of passion. So, what is mode of passion? Gopal?
Want to achieve something or
What's that?
what? Passion means to achieve something, work hard to achieve some fruitive results.
What is the meaning of fruitive results?
Some gain from the work we do.
Okay, so don't we all have that characteristic in us?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So how to overcome that?
Offer the results to Krishna.
But are we offering the results to Krishna?
No.
So this is the path, right? Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So in this Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, almost the entire world is operating in that pattern. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So first we do some Dharma. When we do Dharma and we are following the rules and regulations, we get some benefit. It's called Artha. Artha actually means benefits. So a lot of people talk of Artha as money, but Artha is benefit. So when we do Dharma, we get Artha. And with Artha, we fulfill our desires, like buy a car, get married, build a house. So that is Kama. And then with that, we get Moksha. Everybody familiar with this pattern?
But moksha is liberation, right, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
But with Kama, we cannot get moksha, like regular
It depends.
Kama.
There is something called regulated Kama.
Okay.
Right? So it is not unregulated. So it is like regulated Kama. So Artha means you'll get some facilities, money, some good events in your life. Right? So if you don't do Dharma, you will not get this. So some you may say, oh, I know this rascal colleague of mine in office and he doesn't do any Dharma. Why is he getting so much money? You're only looking at this lifetime. You have to look at past lifetimes also. Right? Traveling to theaters, charity. Usually if you do charity, you'll get a lot of benefits. If you do charity, you'll get a lot of benefits. And then Kama should be regulated. So this is like having sex is Kama. Buying things, that's Kama. Being praised by someone, that is Kama. Right? Sex is the gross form, but there are these subtle things. Like being praised, it is also there. A lot of people don't worry about these first two things. but they want to be praised, right? So it is called subtle form of enjoyment. It's not gross, but it is subtle form of enjoyment. And then if you do regulated karma, then moksha, liberation will come after n lifetimes, not immediately, lifetimes. So everybody with me so far? Any questions on this one? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. This is not me saying, right? This is all the Vedic processes. Vedas ask you to do this. Of course, most people don't even do this. So they are directly going to hell. They are not even getting moksha. Right? So there are how many types of hells? Gopal?
7, Prabhuji.
No. No.
6.
No. Let's do a search. Number of hells in Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So, hellish planets. 28 main hells or hell categories. Right? 28 main hells or hell categories.
But we talk about Atala Vitala, those are 7.
Those are those are subterranean planets. Even further south to the subterranean planets are real hells. So those are, helly, they have hellish condition in them, but real hells are there further down.
Okay.
So real hells are there further down. So if you do kama unregulated, regulated, then you go to hell. Like if somebody says go to hell, you should ask, sir, which hell are you referring to? Because there are 28 hells.
Or even funny, Prabhu. There are 28 options to choose from. Please take your pick.
Yeah. Of course, they're highly specialized, right? If somebody is eating meat, they go to Kumbhipaka. So there you'll be given a suffering body and put into a vat and you'll be roasted, just like Kentucky Fried Chicken. If you choose Kentucky, eat fried chicken, you'll be roasted in that kind of hell. So vegetarianism is not a sentiment. It is really in your self-interest. You know the difference between sentiment and self-interest? Disha?
Sentiment and self-interest.
Yeah.
Sentiment is what you feel. Self-interest is something what you do. It's two different actions, kind of actions, I believe.
You can operate on sentiment, but better still you operate on self-interest. You get the point?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Most of the world is operating on sentiment. I feel good, so I will do this because I feel good. Right? Why do people go? Like yesterday, I was in the gas station filling gas, and one lady, she came and bought a big bottle of alcohol because she feels that she'll be good by drinking that alcohol. Right? So that is unregulated karma.
Prabhu, I have a question.
Yeah.
What difference between karma and karma?
Karma is your action you perform. Karma is your desires.
Karma is desires. Okay.
Yeah. Right? So by that statement, almost the entire world is going to hell, unfortunately. Right? But hell, luckily, is not a permanent place. Like Christians say it is permanent. No, it is only a temporary location. You suffer there and again you take birth. So there are three possibilities. One is you do dharma, artha, kama, regulated. And then there is a third part, which is not really engaging in these activities. That is the Bhagavad part, right? That which we are, unfortunately, we are not doing, but we are supposed to do. Which is Prema Kumartha Mahan. Developing love of God, giving up material nonsense. Unless you give that up, it is not possible. Like I just posted something on my LinkedIn. So there is something called spiritual sex. Material sex is done with your body. Spiritual sex is done by loving Krishna. So only when somebody comes to that point, they can chant this mantra called Kama Gayatri or Kama Bija mantra. And once you come to that Kama Gayatri, Kama Bija mantra, your liberation is more or less guaranteed. But none of us is qualified yet. Right? So you have to be a brahmachari or a sannyasi. I mean, you can be in the grihastha, but you have to operate like a sannyasi. Means zero sex, zero physical sex. But when you chant this Kama Gayatri, you are actually propitiating Krishna directly. Advanced topic, but I just wanted to bring it to you. We are nowhere near that. So we give up this material nonsense and we develop love of God. Prema Bhumartha Mahan. So this is pretty much the chart that you need to remember. Right? So this is the first column is you are following Vedas. Following Vedas correctly. First, for that, you should know what Vedas are telling. Right? You cannot follow unless you know what on earth Vedas have in them. And then this is following Vedas incorrectly. Incorrectly. So there is no dharma, there is no artha, directly only kama, no moksha. In this pattern. No moksha. Okay. PowerPoint skills. Yeah, there you go. No moksha.
So Prabhu,
Hmm.
in the column which is following Vedas incorrectly, there would be some dharma, there would be definitely artha, because a lot of people are there on planet Earth who do not follow the Vedas, but then they're filthy rich.
Yeah, but if you don't follow the
So
Vedas, you're practically not following anything correctly, because Bible and Quran are highly diluted, right? They are like diluted. 10% of Vedas they cover. They don't really cover everything. So, you know, it's not like we are being a bigot or bigotry, that we are saying that they are not following things. In reality, it is true. They are not following things. What are you going to do about it? Right? Not lying, not cheating is not sufficient. Actually, look at it. The Acharya who built the Srirangam temple, he took the money from the Muslim Nawab and he built a temple. He was actually, from a materialistic perspective, he was cheating. But he was not cheating. That's the thing. right? Because he's using it for the right purpose. You can cheat, you can steal and then go to Hawaii on a vacation. Then you are under the laws of karma. But when you are using it for the spiritual purpose, then no longer laws of karma apply. But it should be really for spiritual, not like, oh, I think I'm using for spiritual purpose. I'm going to Hawaii and that is very spiritual, like that. So they do some pujas, right? Some mantras, some charity. They actually have to perform charity and austerity also, like fasting and things like that. Right? So where are they getting these facilities? Facilities from previous lives karma. That's where they're getting it from. So basically facilities, comma, money, comma, events from previous life karma. And then of course comes karma. So this is the main difference between mainstream Hinduism and Hare Krishna. Here, what we are doing or trying to do is we are not running after dharma, artha, kama, moksha. You need to do some dharma. You need to do some dharma in order to get some of these facilities, but they can come from your previous lives activities as well. Hare Krishna, Kushbu. Can you hear me? Okay. Maybe it will take some time for connectivity. Okay, so you get some facilities and then you will start doing karma. So this becomes the number one focus of life for those people, right? Then prema pumartha mahan, attaining love of God. So this is basically following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's verdict, chanting Hare Krishna and renunciation. See, right now we are chanting Hare Krishna, but we are not renounced. Renounced means detaching ourselves from the world. That has not happened, regardless of our individual age. None of us is renounced. And unless you do that, renounce by bhakti. So there is two kinds of renunciation. One is renouncing using, or rather losing everything, right? Giving up everything and going off to a forest. But that is called dry renunciation. With dry renunciation, you will be unable to move forward. So it has to be renounced by bhakti. So I renounce for you, Krishna. That should be the mood. Not general renunciation, right? Some people renounce everything, go to Himalayas. This happened to one of my friend. So one of his friend renounced and went away somewhere. And then this person went and met that other person who renounced somewhere in the Himalayas or someplace like that. So that person was asking, oh, what's happening in Kolkata? What's happening? Did that building get built? So his mind was still roaming around material topics, although he tried to renounce by false means. So that is called Markata Vairagya, false renunciation. Markata means a monkey. You know what a monkey does? It says, I've taken sannyas. It will go and sit on a tree and pretend to meditate. And then as a female monkey comes, then it will open the eyes and then go after mating. So in reality, it was not a meditation. It was seeking the opposite gender, right? To impress the opposite gender, it is pretending to do meditation. And in the modern times also, you'll see a lot of people like that. So our path is, initially, yes, following the Vedas correctly. That's what we are trying to do. But in the end, we have to give up material nonsense, renounce by bhakti, and goal is developing love of God. So the goal is very clear. You have to develop love of God. So if you don't develop love of God, then everything else is a waste of time. So Kushbu, are you there? You're on mute if you're trying to speak.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Kushbu lives in Kolkata, and at some point she will move to Mayapur as well to be more serious in devotion. So yeah, based on this slide, what are your thoughts, Kushbu?
Yeah, I was just going through and just arrived now. So this actually, I was really much more, intrigued by this fact that the way this prema pumartha mahan, that many times this happens, like I have seen in Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He also used to speak a lot about renunciation. Actually, we can never ever reach the goal, that is developing love of Godhead, if we go on becoming proud of being a renunciate. That's actually a kind of anartha which arises out of bhakti. Like it is also in Madhurya Kadambini, if we go, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur speaks about this, that Labh Pratishtha and Puja Labh and Pratishtha. These kinds of things also deviates us from our goal of developing love of Godhead. So these things like Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, actually these are called the four Purusharthas, and these are going for very good for those who want to gradually develop these things. The Lord has given us all facilities depending on our degree of surrender, which he says ye yatha mam prapadyante. He keeps his promise, and these are kind of following Vedas correctly. These are for those kind of people who has a certain degree of the certain degree of surrender, and then this following Vedas incorrectly. Actually, if we classify this more broadly, then these following Vedas incorrectly are for those people who fall under the four categories, who don't approach Krishna. So they also have got the facilities, but what happens, Krishna gives them these forgetfulness and the remembrance, as he says in Bhagavad Gita. So while going through this slide, I was just recollecting those shlokas where Krishna promises, like he always keeps his words. And when we go deeper into, when we actually contemplate on each and every verse, each and every word, especially through the purpose of Srila Prabhupada, then we can come up with such beautiful slides, such beautiful conclusions, which makes us more clear about the concept of bhakti yoga, which is actually what we are learning. And as we, like through these classes, through these conversations, getting together and discussing, so these things become more clear. And I'm very much amazed to see that whenever we come together and discuss about certain aspects of bhakti yoga, it all comes more, spontaneously it comes, and gradually also. Sometimes gradually, sometimes spontaneously. It's actually a combination of both, gradual and spontaneous. And it's all by the mercy of uh, Hari Guru and Vaishnava. So this particular slide I was, and then this last thing where I was just seeing this give up puja. And again I remembered that book by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, What Kind of Devotee. That's my favorite book. He tells us that even if on the face we are saying that we are very nice devotees, but we are actually suffering from that puja la pratishtha kind of, there are which anartha, and which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur elaborates in his Madhurya Kadambini. Madhurya Kadambini it's like a scale which we can use to measure how much we have progressed in our bhakti. It's very important to measure. And sometimes people say, devotees also say that, why are you so much concerned? Actually, if we don't know that, we know our goal, and if we don't know where we are, actually we all are in the anartha nivritti stage. And the first symptom of becoming nishtha, having that nishtha, is when we are undisturbed under all circumstances. So basically, I would say I am in the anartha nivritti stage, and we should gradually move ahead. And I mean, I'm very fortunate to be here among the devotees here, because the kind of information which Prabhu has, and the kind of, I mean, studying through slides, through tables in a tabular form, it makes us, I mean, it makes things clear. It doesn't keep us confused or in a kind of okay, I am not able to understand. This really clarifies a lot of things. So this is what I was I went through. I mean, this is something which I recollected, and whatever I could reflect and contemplate. So that's it. Haribol.
Very good, very good. Thank you. So based on what Kushbu Mataji said, Disha, do you have any questions? Or Gopal?
No, Prabhuji.
So you see how nicely Kushbu Mataji talks, right? I just asked one question, but she covered like 15 topics. So that is the way a devotee should be. Kind of give a well-rounded answer. Okay, so now let's get back to where is my window for PowerPoint? Yeah. So we were discussing this particular verse, but that determination which one holds fast to fruitive results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification. Right? So religion means dharma, economic development is artha, sense gratification is kama. That is why I had to go there and describe what this dharma, artha, kama are. So it doesn't even talk about moksha yet, because moksha is kind of a far-fetched thing if you are always thinking of dharma, artha, and kama. So Srila Prabhupada's translation is, if you're always into these religious and economic activities and sense gratification, such people are in mode of passion. So pretty much Prabhupada says what Krishna says here. Let's try the next verse. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam.
Prabhuji, you're sharing different screen, Prabhuji.
I'm sharing different thing. Okay. Yeah, it says screen sharing is resume share. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam.
Yeya swapnam bhayam shokam.
Vishadham madam evacha.
Vishadam madam evacham.
Na vimuchanti durmedha.
Na vimuchanti durmeda.
Dhritihi sapartha tamasi.
Dhritihi sapartha tamasi.
And that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion, such unintelligent determination, O son of Pita, is in the mode of darkness. So mode of darkness means there is like a curtain that is formed around us. So within that curtain, we are always dreaming. We are fearful. Oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? Lamentation, always worrying about what happened in the past. Moroseness, becoming gloomy, an illusion. Right? So thinking what exists doesn't exist, and what doesn't exist to be existing. So these are all the tamo gun qualities. So that's why Krishna uses the word tamasi in the mode of ignorance. Purport, okay, Gopal, read the purport.
It should not be concluded that a person in the mode of goodness does not dream. Here, dream means too much sleep. Dreaming is always present, either in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. Dreaming is a natural occurrence, but those who cannot avoid oversleeping, who cannot avoid the pride of enjoying material objects, who are always dreaming of lording it over material world, and whose life, mind, and senses are thus engaged, are considered to have determination in the mode of ignorance.
See Prabhupada's choice of words. He says, considered to have determination in the mode of ignorance. Means the soul is determined. Okay, I want to be in the mode of ignorance. It's not just that the soul is pushed there, but the soul has this determination. And who is that? All of us, right? Cannot avoid the pride of enjoying material objects. America is all about enjoying material objects. Today is Thanksgiving, day after Thanksgiving. Everybody's gone to shops to buy stuff. I know a few years ago in the temple, Rompad Maharaj was giving a class. So Thanksgiving Day, hall was full. Day after Thanksgiving, hall was 1/3 full. So Maharaj asked, what happened to everyone? And somebody said, Thanksgiving shopping, Maharaj. Right? So you'll get discounts, 10%, 20%. So just for that 10% or 20%, people did not come to the class and they all went to buy stuff, even devotees. We are not talking about outsiders. Outsiders, of course, they live in that, right? They'll wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and join the line so that they can get in like those coupons, right? The coupon would be for like $50 or $20 off on the first product that you buy. So they won't wake up to glorify God in Mangalarti, but they will wake up to get that $20 coupon. Right? So the $20 is having a more importance in their lives than waking up and greeting the deities in the morning. Right? And tamogun, one other thing is oversleeping. People will be sleeping 8, 10, 12 hours a day. What they will do is they will do partying till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. Then they'll go to sleep and then they wake up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So 12 hours non-stop. How do we know? Because when we go to Nagar Sankirtan, you'll see people are just coming out for their first meal of the day. They would have woken up at like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. and they'll come and then we'll have our burrito prasadam. So we'll be giving that out and they'll be very eager to take it. Some people will still say no, but most people take it, right, in our Nagar Sankirtan. Because this is this whole sleeping late and oversleeping and being in the mode of ignorance, tamogun. Again, purport is by Swami Prabhupada, who has studied the world intensely and he has seen what is the characteristic of this tamogun. Krishna doesn't say oversleeping here, if you notice. But Srila Prabhupada added oversleeping here because that is the nature of tamogun people, especially in the West, in America, where it's a little cool, so people sleep more also. Right? In India, it becomes so warm that you cannot sleep. You'll wake up. Even if you sleep late in the night, pretty much by the time the sunlight comes up, you wake up. But in cold countries, people sleep a lot. So any thoughts, questions? So Kushbu, your realizations on this topic?
Yes, Prabhu. I actually, this particular word dream, we will note that it's written within inverted commas. So this is something which I was thinking, why has Prabhupada written it like this? Dream actually is very significant because I have observed this. When we sleep too much, then only we have dream. if the quota of the sleep has exceeded, particularly 6 hours, I mean, I don't know, but we can also observe this. If it has exceeded 6 hours, then we will actually, the body wants to wake up, but still we are sleeping. So we are actually doing something called oversleeping. That's why oversleeping is a word which comes, I mean, Prabhupada mentions, because dream is an outcome of anything oversleeping. It's actually something, um, like Prabhupada writes that dreaming is always present, either in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Dreaming is a natural occurrence, but he says that somebody who cannot avoid. I mean, we are so helpless that we cannot avoid to sleep more. Then we will naturally dream more, and this dreaming condition is, that's why consciousness is because the mind is made of conscious and subconscious brain. And when we sleep, the conscious mind has gone, but the subconscious mind is always awake, and that it kind of takes us to the whole dream world where we dream whatnot. And we can see that whenever that's why it's very important to always be Krishna conscious, because then I don't know, but we can see Krishna also in our dream. It can happen. And that is one thing which Prabhupada always said, that we should read the Krishna book before sleeping. It's his Prabhupada's instruction. Before sleeping, we have to read Krishna book 1 or 2 pages. I mean, I was wondering, why did Prabhupada say before sleeping? It can be because of this reason, so that we can dream about, I mean, in the dream, Krishna can come. So then our dream also becomes a kind of uh, good thing. But that's what I just this is something which came in my mind, that yes, if we read, because Krishna book has got Krishna Leela, and Leela is something which appeals to our right, I don't know, right or left brain, the brain which controls the creativity part. So that will happen, and that will seep into our subconsciousness. And then if we go and sleep, and then it can happen that Krishna may come. Obviously we should not oversleep, but the fact that Prabhupada mentioned that before sleeping we should read Krishna book, I don't know, I kind of just reiterated this particular point, that dreaming is a significant thing. It's actually a significant part of our daily activities. And yes, if we do anything over the mode of passion and the mode of ignorance is actually anything over. I mean, passion means that we want the fruits of whatever we do. We are hungry for the fruit. But ignorance means it's very. I mean, we are completely in a very miserable condition, because we don't even know what the fruit is, and we are just in the process. Like, we are so ignorant that we are not concerned about what is going to happen or what is not going to happen. We just I mean, it is a completely controlled by Maya. I mean, ignorance is completely
Very, very good point. So when did you come into Krishna consciousness?
about my realizations. It's a very nice purpose. Okay, Haribol.
No, my question was like, how many years ago did you come into this process?
I mean, Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
It's been 2 years, like 2019 March, April, May. It was April 2019.
Yeah, yeah. So others on the call, see how nicely in 2 years, Kushbu has picked up all the philosophy and she's able to speak very convincingly. Do you agree, Disha?
Totally true, Prabhu.
Very nice.
Khushbu hats
Divya
off.
Mataji, what do you say?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Appreciate your talk.
yeah. So that's how it is. I mean, it is sometimes years doesn't matter. How quickly you pick up, how quickly you implement this in your life is more important, right? So our age is not really counted by years, but by how quickly we absorb this message and implement it in our own lives. So excellent point, Kushbu Mataji, because you talked about dreaming is being caused by oversleeping. So those people are considered in the mode of ignorance. I mean, at some point in our life, we were all in mode of ignorance. Slowly, we are trying to get out of that deep, dark well and coming into passion and coming into goodness, and hopefully transcend that goodness and come to pure goodness, like Anisha was talking about last time, pure goodness. Anisha, what do you say? Is Anisha on? Disha?
From he are in the car, so yes, she's on Girish's phone.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's move on. Sukham tva idanim trividham.
Sukham tva idham
Trividam.
trividham.
Shrunu me bharatarshaba.
Shrunu me
Bharat
taspa
Abhyasa dhramate yatra.
Abhya
yasa ramte yatra
Dukantam cha nigacchati.
dukhantam cha kani nagani achati.
Right? Gacchati means going somewhere. Nigacchati means attaining something, gaining something. Oh, best of Bharatas, now please hear from me about the 3 kinds of happiness by which the conditioned soul enjoys. So apparently there are 3 kinds of happiness in Krishna's dictionary, and by which he sometimes come to end of all distress. So he's talking about happiness and distress in this verse. Okay, Disha Mataji, read this purport. Disha, you're still on mute.
Right now, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Okay.
Read the purport, please.
Yes. A conditioned soul tries to enjoy material happiness again and again. Thus, he chews the chewed. But sometimes, in the course of such enjoyment, he becomes relieved from material entanglement by association with a great soul. In other words, a conditioned soul is always engaged in some type of sense gratification. But when he understands by good association that it is only a repetition of the same thing, and he is awakened to his real Krishna consciousness, he is sometimes relieved from such repetitive so-called happinesses.
Yeah. So Khushbu Mataji, can you describe this to the class?
Yes, Prabhu. This in this purport, I mean, we see Prabhupada writes, thus he chose the chewed. In Bhagavatam, we have that shloka, Punascharavita Charvinam. That it's. I was amazed when I came to this particular statement when I was hearing one of Prabhupada's lecture. Like it is so, I mean, absurd to just try to get something from a waste material, like when we go on chewing the sugar cane and the juice has completely gone, it's not no more there, but still going on chewing it. I mean, it's so stupid, a kind of foolish, and that's what we do. We in material enjoyment is like that. We try to get something from which is not there. That is why it's called Maya means illusion. Ya means that which is not there, but still we are illusioned. We think it is there, like a mirage in the desert. We see from very far that the water is there, but when we go near, the water is not there. It's actually we are conditioned in such a way. I really like the word condition. Prabhupada uses this word so many times. Condition means we are conditioned by this Maya. We are conditioned by this illusion, and we are so much into this that we have absorbed ourselves so much into this that we don't understand even what we are doing. That's the miserable condition we are, all of us are in. And Prabhupada he says over here that a conditioned soul is always engaged in some type of sense gratification. that is our misfortune, I would say, because sense gratification, we always trying to do get something, but again we always fall. We always become so helpless. And Prabhupada writes here the remedy for getting rid of this miserable condition, and that is when we associate with pure devotees. And we can remember Narad Muni's life story. He was just 5 years old, and during the Chaturmasya, the 4 months when the sages were living, and his mother was a maid, and she was washing the dishes, and Narad Muni had the remnants of those rishis, of those sages, and he was constantly in association with them. So this good association made him, he realized everything so quickly. Like, I was just in this, there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita, I think there is, where Prabhupada mentions the key to a quick, that will accelerate your Krishna consciousness, and that is when you serve the devotees with the determination, and when you try to make please them, it actually, and you avoid uh, uh, doing Vaishnav Ninda, you avoid blaspheming the devotees of the Lord, then actually we can make a rapid progress. Because when we glorify the Lord is pleased. But when we glorify the devotees of the Lord, because Krishna is called Bhakta Vatsalya, so when we glorify his devotees, and then our progress it's multiplied by a million times. So that is actually a type of, that's a I would say it's a shortcut or a cheat sheet, like to get a rap progress. Because when we do that, we can experience, and the best, and I think the most easiest thing which we can do right now, any of us, all of us, we can glorify Srila Prabhupada. We can just distributing his books, and that's actually, I saw Prabhupada's mercy. Prabhupada telling us to distribute his books, telling us to glorify. It's actually, if we do that, then we actually glorify Prabhupada, and Prabhupada is a pure devotee of Krishna. So we are actually doing a lot of service to uh, Krishna by just glorifying his devotee. So here I just loved this, when he understands, Prabhupada, right, when he understands by good association that it is only a repetition of the same thing, and he's awakened to his real Krishna consciousness. And so it's the Krishna consciousness is it's like sleeping. It's a dormant state, and it's like a volcano, a dormant volcano.
Mhm.
And this association ignites, revives. It's not something artificial. It's already there, and all our distresses are then and there gone, and then we can experience, like, by association with a great soul, we can experience that. And then this is something which I've seen, like, when we constantly read and associate with Prabhupada's book, or when there is a lecture by any exalted devotee, we should never ever miss that opportunity, because we get that association with the great soul, kind of this particular line. We should engrave this in our hearts, that yes, I will, if I associate. It's so easy, because we just don't have to associate, we just have to go and hear, and then we can get out of this chewing the chewed kind of absurd thing which we do, which we are doing since times immemorial. So this is something, this is wonderful. Every purport of Prabhupada is filled with so much nectar, and it reiterates Krishna's points in so many beautiful ways. So that's it, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you. So it is said in Shastra, sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy, lava matra, sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy, right? So basically, lava is 1/6 of a second. So even if you associate a little bit, you can get the mercy of the Acharya. But then a large number of people are associating for a large amount of time, and yet they are unable to make significant progress. There is a little bit of progress, but it is not significant. So what do you think, Kushbu, is the reason?
Yes, Prabhu. This can be because they are not. I mean, their mind is somewhere else. Association means deep down inside they are not attentive. They are not present at that moment. This can be because of this. Though we can get the progress will be there, but it will. I think it will slow down. It will be there, but it will be at a not at a very. The rate will reduce. It will reduce to a great extent. That is why, and the second thing is the mood in which we are associating. The humble, the mood of service should be there, and that is I can validate that by that shloka तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनं तत्त्वदर्शिनः. The devotees should approach the spiritual master in that way. So three things I was there. The service is there, the humility is there, and then tadvidhi, surrender. So surrender, service, and humility. If any of these three things are missing, and then they cannot benefit from the association. But it will. I think it will slow down, Prabhu. I don't know, but I think it cannot be zero, but it will be slow, like 0.01, then 0.02. It can be like this. It will slow down to a large extent, I guess. If you
Right.
enlighten more on this, then yeah.
Yeah.
Hare
So
Krishna.
yes, and there is one more aspect that you touched upon earlier, which is not to do ninda, right? Sadhu ninda or offenses. So it's called the mad elephant offense. When we offend a senior Vaishnava, then your progress will be stalled. So not yours, whoever is doing that offense. So one has to be super careful in terms of uh, always being vigilant that we don't commit any offenses towards senior Vaishnavas. So I've seen people who have committed offenses and they have significantly slowed down, and people who are very vigilant are making some substantial progress. So in both cases, the ninda of the sadhu ninda, even subconsciously doing a sadhu ninda. Oh, what does he know? He's just, he read some Prabhupada's books and he's just talking about it, right? So one may subconsciously make some offenses, and that offense is the worst, right? I mean, there are various aparadhas, like there is seva aparad. When you worship the deity, you may do some incorrect seva. That is one level of then there is dham aparad. So seva aparad can be eliminated by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Dham aparad also to a certain degree can be eliminated by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. But when you do Vaishnava aparad, that cannot be eliminated by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. You have to go fall at the feet of the Vaishnava and beg for forgiveness, and that's when that particular aparad gets nullified. Right? So very, very important to know. So people say, oh, I didn't go to Vrindavan, or I went to Vrindavan 10 times. That doesn't matter, because the Dham has certain power, but the Vaishnavas have the highest power. Vaishnava is a walking holy place, right? So when Vaishnava carries Krishna in their heart, so a Vaishnava is a walking holy place. Therefore, whatever they do, and if we are offensive towards them, that's considered the highest aparad. So many years ago, Rompad Maharaj gave a seminar on these gradations of aparadhas, right? So seva aparad, dham aparad, nam aparad. Nam aparad is also very difficult to overcome. So if you offend the holy name by inattentively chanting, then you have to chant for days together continuously to nullify that aparad. Otherwise, Nam Prabhu will stop revealing himself. He will basically put a curtain around. As it is, we are in curtain of our past sins, curtain of Maya. So that's already 2 curtains. And now if we commit offense against the holy name, that will be 3 curtains. And practically it will be impossible for us to get out. So anybody has any thoughts? Okay. So we will chant now. So Kushbu, I know you are in a different time zone, so feel free to drop off or stay. It's up to you. But we will be chanting the holy name right now. Okay. So Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Shri Advaita Gadadhara,
Shri